different times. You may have fallen out with your parents at different times as well. And everything we did with you or to you, we did because we thought it was best. It's never easy to get everything right, and I will accept that we didn't get everything right all of the time. But looking at you this evening, I'm pretty sure that between us with your parents, we've actually done a really, really good job. And so our apologies if we didn't get everything absolutely right, and if you're sitting there thinking, I got that detention in year 9, it was really unfair. We did a lot that was right. You have made some lifelong friends at Harris, people you'll see for the rest of your lives, which is great. And there'll be some people that you won't see again after you do your exams, still be your friends, and you'll still look back on them in the future. And that's part of life, so I hope you see them this evening and give them a hug or whatever, and enjoy that. My final bits of advice for you as leaders is as follows. There's four kind of things, four kind of rules that are useful, and maybe we'll get them written down somewhere and you can look at them 20 years and say, well, was he right or was he wrong? But here are the four rules that I would recommend to you. As you go forward into your adult life, be passionate. Really care about what you choose to do. Nothing worse than people who are half-hearted. So be passionate in everything you do. Be passionate with the person you love. Be passionate with your job and everything else. So that's one good rule. Check it out when you're 40 on and see whether it's right. Number 2, demonstrate integrity in how you live your lives, both in your personal life and your professional life. And be true to yourself and do the things that you say you'll do and keep your word. That's a good one. Look back on that one and see whether you've done it, and if you have, how it feels. The third one, I think is really, really important. Be tenacious. Don't be a quitter. Be tenacious about what you do, and don't get derailed by other people saying you can't do things. Never let other people talk you down, or let them put their fear onto you. Do what you can do, and don't get derailed by people or events. The fourth and the final one, this is the hardest one for me, and I hope you'll be better at this when you look back, when you're old. Pay attention to what's going on around you as you move along through life. Pay attention to all those road signs that happen to you as you go along. Take good notice of them. Take good notice of your family, your friends, your own family that you create, and the things that happen as you go through life that you enjoy. Savour them because they're important. So, in a few weeks' time, you'll be getting yourself ready to walk through the doors at Harris, perhaps for the last time. I hope you leave feeling good about yourselves, because you deserve to. You really deserve to. And that you leave with a great sense of achievement. Whatever your results are going to be, you are successes. We congratulate you on every single thing you've achieved up to this point. And we know that as we set you off on your course to adult life, that you're going to make a real difference out there. So you're leaving your teachers behind, but you don't need teachers, because you are your own best teacher. And in the end, the people you care about and the people that care for you will be standing with you the whole way through. So, thank you, Year 11, for being with us. Before I close, I just want to say one thing which parents won't understand. Thank you to the whole year group for that very kind act of returning the mislaid phone to that member of staff today. That's a really good thing.
Before we move on with the evening, there's two people I need to introduce. We've got our guest speaker who will be introduced to you shortly, but the two very important people that are going to join us now on the stage, who are going to play an integral part in the rest of the evening's proceedings. So can I ask Liam and Naomi to come and join us?
We are all here today to celebrate our achievements this past year and over the past 5 months.
The celebration of achievements over here is very special, as for many of us it will be our last at Harris and will certainly be our last altogether.
We've been at Harris for a very long time now, and no doubt we've all been through and learned and changed so much here. So today we celebrate, reminisce on all the things we've seen and done here.
Perhaps the biggest transformation has been Harris itself. We came in the era of bright green jumpers, Mickey the Ice Cream Man, the Green Lady and vending machines. We came to Harris City Technology College.
And we have witnessed and lived the transformation of Harris Academy Crystal Palace, the Blazers, the Harris Bag, Enterprise and Jack Petchy. We've got to go to see.
This year seems to have flown by in a haze of exams, resits and coursework. Having started the year to chorus from our teachers of how little time we had.
And looking back, I'm sure we'd all agree, it's both been shorter than we've expected, yet longer than we could have imagined.
Thank you. Liam and I are obviously going to be popping up during the course of the evening, introducing various parts, but I'm going to introduce the next person to come to the microphone, who is our guest speaker for this evening. He's a gentleman called Andy Riley, who is an author, a cartoonist and a comedy scriptwriter. He's written with his partner Kevin Cecil many successful sitcoms on TV, their own panel show on radio, and in his spare time, Andy's the only person I know who happens to have sold, I think I'm right in saying, sold 1 million books around the world, which is, when you think about it, it's really a phenomenal achievement. When you've been in the bookshop, you might have noticed some of the books that are shown up there. The bunny suicides thing is very funny to some people, maybe not to others, but it's certainly incredibly popular. That's the book that sold 1 million copies around the world. I think the wisdom there is a series of jokes that work in virtually any language throughout the world. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome Andy to...
I think we all have at some stage in our school careers, which is, why do we have to learn all this stuff? There's so much stuff that you have to learn, and so much of it doesn't seem to have any real use outside school. I mean, we can all understand the usefulness of like numeracy, literacy, like the basic stuff, but some of the other things are a bit mad, like Oxbow Lakes. We've got a show of hands on this one for who's ever learned about Oxbow Lakes at school? 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, people. Is it geography, is the river system? It's on the national curriculum. I want to see more. A few. Who has ever seen one? That's a few less. There's a lot of things like this. But some of them stay with you for a lifetime. So, I mean, I still know that the system of underfloor central heating in a Roman villa is called hypercourse. I didn't have to Google that. It was just kind of stapled into my head at some stage in my youth, along with John Kay invented the flying shuttle in 1733. And you wish that these facts would leave sometimes to make room for like better ones like don't buy a house at the peak of the property market, which would be nice. So why do we learn all this stuff? Well, something from personal experience that may be some use to is that in about 1988, when I left school, we had a careers room. And it had loads of leaflets along the walls for every kind of job, career going. Not one single one of them was anything to do with the web, because there was no web. And they weren't going to turn it on for another 2 years. And then 10 years later, I was catching the tube around London, and I'd keep bumping into old school friends. And a lot of them were working in this new thing, and some of them making quite good money. And so I got to wondering what qualifies them or anybody else to do this kind of thing. And when I was more asked, the more I realised that it was people who had a range of skills. People who knew a bit about maths, and a bit about English, and a bit about art design, and picked up a little bit about business along the way. Lots of things that they picked up in different subjects in school. So I think the answer is if you're wondering what all this stuff is for, it might be going to combine in the future in some way for the new jobs and the new careers that no one's actually invented yet, that are as distant to us now as the internet was in about 1988.
And also, the world moves pretty fast on these things, so it gets quite difficult to sort of dispense this kind of sage advice at these events. And like one of the things which would have been true, I think, at any time between about the start of civilization and about 2 years ago, would be you've got to hang on to your friends, you've got to hold on to a few good friends. And now now we're all socially networked, we've all got Bebo and MySpace, it's going to become increasingly difficult to ever lose them. So I think technology is taking care of that for us, which is nice. What happened down there? Okay. There's something going on in that social group. Also, another one which I think you've got to cover in a speech of this kind is follow your dreams. But you please do have a conference amongst yourselves to get a bit of variety amongst the dreams, because there's about 300 or 400 of us in the room, and we might expect to live between about 80 and 90 years, and each year there is only one series of the X Factor. So we can't all win, and some of us have to get some other dreams which don't involve becoming famous at all. Dreams like making an alternative to fossil fuels would be quite nice, that'd be quite handy. We can't all be Leo and Lewis. So also, that's the future anyway. When you look back to the past, it's good to think about the wisdom of teachers and the occasional gem which they might have come out with, which may be useful. I went on a geography field trip when I was about 15, and we were taken to various spots around London in a coach. And one of them was the South Bank of the Thames, Southwark. And at the time, it was all derelict warehouses. And a geography teacher said, look at this, it's all derelict warehouses, very cheap land here. Now look over the river, there's the City of London. Most OEUs, a square mile of land in Europe, extremely expensive, loads of people there, nobody here. Isn't it strange these two things are side by side? And if someone wanted to do a spot of urban regeneration in the future, maybe here on the South Bank of the Thames would be a good place to start. We didn't listen to that at all. And if we'd have clubbed together all of our money from our Saturday jobs and bought, an abandoned newspaper kiosk, we could have sold it off to Cafe Nero 10 years later. And he was called Mr. Smart as well. Also, when you think about teachers, you might find that the strict teachers are ones that you remember more fondly than you think you're going to. And it's partly because they can't get you anymore. And it's also because I think you realise later that they were strict because they had the keenest sense of what your potential was. And so they were always kind of going around being permanently furious when you weren't living up to it. So, remember that the next time you get called in for using for tractors as ninja throwing. So anyway, that's the past and the future. In the present, obviously the whole business of getting to where you are in life now can be quite scary, where there's suddenly choices coming at you all the time. Should I stay on at school? Should I not? What kind of job career should I get? Maybe should I travel the world? But then how many countries are there to go to? It's bewildering and frightening. But hopefully, it can also be quite exciting as well, because you spent many years now sort of funneled through this narrow pipe of education, and you've learned and you've grown together, and you've seen each other change. And hopefully now, when you get to the end, you can kind of blast out of it with all the power that being changed can give. And as well as being a frightening time, it can be quite a nice time as well. And I'm probably not the only old wrinkly man in the room who kind of envies you for it. So, thank you very much.
Perhaps the highlight of textiles and art students was the trip to the Birmingham Clothes Show, live on the 7th, which was a fashion, beauty, inspirational show. And not being likely to let us forget the importance of GCSEs, Paris provided a series of assemblies to put even more fire under us in order that we all achieve our potential.
So here we are, our last full of uniform school day over, yearbook signed and all dressed up. It feels decidedly like the end, but it's not over till it's over, and with exams finishing in June, it is simply the beginning of the end.
Good luck and remember, all can achieve.
Now, let's look back at the memories from the past 5 years with the class of 2008.
See some chunkies. class of 2008 will now collect the Year 11 folders.
Is Jeffrey going to start proceedings? Thank you.
They are continually polite and always giving their best. I think you all know who I'm talking about. It's Jade Michael. And the rest of them. Naomi and Bert. Luke Constable. Lindsay Davis. Benedict Earl. George Evans. Joshua Kelly. Isabel Yellow. Kimberly Cummins. Greg Kemp. Jane Michael. Lily O'Gorman.
Been a bit of a difficult year. I'm a new member of staff here, so I didn't expect the students here to know me very well. But in spite of this, I think they've had an extremely successful year, and I'm really going to miss them. And I wish them every success in their upcoming exams. Moves on to the Best in Tutor group. There are a number of people in the form that certainly could have won this award. The chosen person is always extremely polite, helpful, studious and friendly. So I would like to award the Best in Tutor group for 11 AP to Stephanie Broom.
Okay, I'm approaching to level TV just for this shift, just joining in. It's been really welcoming to me, and it's been a really entertaining group to choose up. Okay, we move on to the duty of our group. Okay, and our award goes to someone who, for the 5 years he's been here, has been an outstanding student in all respects. Okay, he's always kind and considerate, polite and helpful, and has been a great role model to the rest of the group throughout his time here. We therefore have great pleasure in giving this award to Joshua Bernard.
The student of the year for Y11 goes to Ashley Innes.
We've had tantrums, we've had late we've had moaning about uniform. But all through it all, they've made me laugh most of the time, and they've been the most wonderful group that I could wish for. The person that I've chosen for the best of tutor is a young lady is Emma Jordan.
I'd like to give Tutor of the Year to Zan Hamid. teacher perhaps, Scott Baker. Entrepreneur, ICT consultant, Edward Barkley. Lawyer, QC, Shapira Martin. Teacher, PA, Legal Secretary, Carell Brown. Makeup artist, model for future, Emma Coleman. Upstanding citizen, Soldier of the Year, Toby Costa. French teacher, Shannon Doherty. Dr. Zan Hamid. Investment banker, Thierry Wood. Social worker, Izzy Hall. Graphic designer, Kirsty Hodge. Graphics designer, artist, Alan Jones. Economist of the Year, Marcus Jones. Entrepreneur, Brent Lewis. Accountant, Nathaniel Roberts. Event organizer, Louise Inman. Social worker, Sharia Oliver. City investment banker, Roy Williamson. Physiotherapist and stars, Scott Thomas.
This student will provide an extra goal and is completing every task that the offered with a smile on her face. The tutor award for 11 TV this year goes to Nicole Robinson. Okay, and for the final time, I would like to introduce to you 11 team people, starting with Joe Abbott, Nicholas Wilson, Siobhan Allen, Kumalayo Ryan James King, Danielle Hayes, Thomas Watson, Alex Ruffin, William Radford, Nicole Robinson, Steve Salva, Ethan Sargent, Kirsty Colbert, Kalvini Kanji, Amy Warren, and Amy Warren.
what I'm going to do is to announce 2 awards for every single GCSE course that you guys have done over the last 2 years, because every one of those courses, as you know, is equally important to your future. So we're going to go through all the subjects, through all the faculties, so all the subjects taught by the arts faculty, comms, science and maths, tech. And then at the end, there's going to be a couple of particularly special awards that we're going to present, that Dr. Moynihan is going to present. So I'm going to call people to the stage. For each subject there will be a best progress first and then a best overall student in that subject. So I'm going to call those 2 up. So can you come up in a pair together, receive your certificates, your handshake and your photograph, and then go back to your seat. So we start with the Art Double Award. The student making most progress is Monique Simpson. Best student in double award mark goes to Jay Michael. Next one is for the GCSE in Art and Design. The student making most progress is Mia Radford. And the student achieving the best overall art design this year is Harriet Fan. Next up for the arts faculty is PE. The student making most progress in PE this year is Luke Constable. And the student getting the best overall student in PE this year goes to Tahira Douglas Noble. Last subject up in the arts faculty is for English GCSE, and the student that has the award this year for making the most progress in this vital subject, I'm very pleased to say, is Kirsty Talbot. Well done, Kirsty. And joining her on the stage, please can we have the student achieving best student overall in English, and that is Rochelle Gale. Okay, moving on to the communications faculty. Got a lot of certificates in, because there's a lot of subjects in comms. Let's start off with religious education short course in RE. And making best overall progress is Shakira Barton. Joining on the stage for best student overall in RE short course, Ishmael Roberts. Moving on to the full course, GCSE and RE, and we have the students making most progress in this subject in RE. We have Owen Johnson Stewart, and joined by student best overall, Victoria Clark. course in history, student making the most progress overall, Y11 Smith. Short course, best overall student, I'm very pleased to say, is Nicholas Aldridge Nicholson. The student making the most progress in full course history in year 11 is Nicola Kirby. And student making the best overall student in history this year goes to Brett Lewis. Geography now. Short course first. Most progress goes to Siobhan Hanlon. And joining the honours stage please can we have the winner of the Geography short course best overall, Amy Worrell. And moving on to full course geography, student making most progress, Bill Anthony. And joining Bill, please can we have best overall student for geography this year, Camilla Rowan. Moving on to French now, short course French, student making most progress, Lauren Beagle. And joining her on stage, can we have the best overall in short course French, Emma Jordan. Must be the best faculty hands on the side to nearly left the comms. French, the last one, full course GCSE. Student making most progress, Simone Taylor Lewis. And can we have, I've seen this name before, the student who second award for right I know, best overall for French, congratulations, Brett Lewis. We move rapidly on now to science and maths faculty. In maths, student making the most progress this year in maths goes to Jonathan Hunt. And Jonathan on stage, joining now the winner of the best overall student in maths, Hcacp. Biology now. Most overall progress in biology this year, Sarah Boysdale. And little bit institutions already on the stage. Best overall in biology this year goes to Miami. Moving on to physics. Best most progress this year, Gregory this year, Lindsay Davis. Can you two just come back please for a minute? Come back. Come back. Thank you. Okay, moving on to chemistry. Making most progress in chemistry this year. Have a wild guess. And best student in chemistry. We've got awards for science, we've got awards for additional science, so every course being acknowledged. Making most progress in additional science this year, Tanila. And best student in science is going to be the police from Sarah. Nathaniel Nelson. Okay, last faculty, technology. Lots of courses here get a little complicated on the technology faculty, so I'll try and get it right. Apologies for not making any slip-ups along the way. So, for Hcacp awards, making most progress actually is... Well done. Next award is for, it's the Business Studies Award. There's a couple of names I'm very glad to see coming up onto the stage. For making most progress, Josh Byrne. And best overall, Sally. Moving on to Business Studies GCSE, making best progress this year, Scott Thomas. And joining Scott as the best overall student in Business Studies, Ben Richardson. Up next, ICT GCSE, and making most progress we have Simone Taylor Lewis. And joining her on stage, can we have as the best student in ICT, Liga. please come up Falguni. Joined as the best student, please, by Alan Jones. Next course up is the engineering course, global engineering. And it's a huge pleasure to say that the student making most progress this year in engineering has been Chelsea Skeggs. Such a shame to see Chelsea's not here this evening. Oh well. Student getting the best overall in engineering, I hope he's here. Nick Speed. Resistant materials, most progress, Joel Chapel. And please can we have on the stage also the best student, James G. On to graphics now. Most progress was made by Joshua Bernard. Joined by his fellow member of the tutor group for best student, Jamilata. Making most progress and showing his name is worth the name of the extra tickets as she's been doing all week. It's Rebecca Prideaux. Rebecca, please, the best student textiles, Louise Lindy. Certificates in my hand, so I wonder who the last two lucky winners are. We have in food technology, making most progress this year, Christopher Redmond. And best student for food technology, Hayley Gorman.
Overall progress in year 11. Now let's see if you can guess who it is. I'll try and avoid saying whether it's a boy or a girl till I get to the end. This student is described as hard-working, mature, very positive, 100% effort into all subjects, really worked hard this year to achieve target grades. Here's a good one. This student is often very quiet in lessons, that narrows it down, guys, and is able to work independently for long periods of time. This student is modest and self-contained, and one member of staff describes her as having a quirky sense of humour. She has been known to lift the mood in the classroom by simple comments on life that always ring true. Are we getting more? In her studies, she has really developed and shone this year. And once she decides she's going to do well in a subject, there's no stopping her. This student is friendly, cooperative, and very well respected by her friends, and thoroughly deserves this award. The student making most overall progress in Year 11, 2008 is Holly Wilson. This one is the best overall student 2008. I'll read you this and see if you can work it out. Someone said Daniel in the front. We'll see. This year's winner of the Best Overall Student Award is a dedicated and mature student who puts maximum effort into every lesson and produces work of exceptional standard. For example, the history work was outstanding and as coursework received the maximum marks. This person is popular in the tutor group, gets on well with everyone, helps other people with their work, described as an excellent student who always meets deadlines and has performed at a high level, articulate, willing to give views and opinions in a sensible way, is a real example to other students within the classroom, described as an extremely good linguist who has made excellent contributions to French lessons and can express him or herself well in foreign language. A dedicated approach to studies, always does work to the highest standard. Maths teacher describes this student as really gifted, who has consistently come top of the year. That's highly motivated, shows great independence in learning, highly praised not just for academic achievement, but also for sport. One member of staff has commented saying, this person was shy and retiring, but has become a confident, mature individual. He is always polite, pleasant and respectable. This is one of the guys. And the overall Best Student of the Year award goes to Jack Hcacp.
This is going to take a degree of coordination. No, I can't help it. I've got to speak. I'm going to wait till then. Restart.
On stage to finish the series. The very last one will be Dr. Moyner, and we'll make just a few remarks to close. Before that, someone just as close to our hearts as Dr. Moynihan, who's going to come to the stage to say a few words on behalf of the year group. Thank you, Ashley.
At this very special time for Year 11 students. Maybe one of us will become a comedy writer or even a big book-selling cartoonist one day. Thanks again for coming to our celebration of achievement evening, and please accept this small token of thanks.
Thanks, Ashley. Well done.
And to all the Year 11 tutors who are here around the room, thank you, the tutors. And as they say in South Norwood, let's pick it up for your parents. Thank you. It has been wonderful knowing you. I hope we see you again. You do have exams and there is some work to be done. You know it's true. Thank you and good evening.
Is that music going to loop?
Guys, strike a pose.
What are you laughing at, dude?
That's the one. You were looking good though.
What was that, Min?
Shouldn't come out and then get back in now. I'll have a crack.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait.
Wait, have you got a hammer? No, it doesn't.
Oh, Jack.
Hi, how you doing? You right?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.